I'm Kristan Andrews, and I'm a raw vegan chef, and I'm going to teach you how to not cook. So in raw vegan food, I think a lot of people probably think that all we eat is sort of like nuts and seeds and grasses. Well, I'm going to teach you how to do a creamy and delicious, decadent sort of Alfredo sauce. It's a really creamy sauce that can be a base for a lot of different things. We're going to do a risotto, which is raw, vegan, risotto, yeah, and it's amazing. But you can also use it for a lot of other sauces. And it's really simple. So we're going to use 3 different types of nuts and seeds. We have a soaked cashew nut, which gives a really nice, super creamy consistency. This is almond meal, and it's actually the almonds that are left over from making almond milk. And if you don't want to make the milk, you could just use the whole almonds also. And then we have sunflower seeds, which are also really great. And everything has been soaked and germinated, breaking down that anti-nutrient on the outside, getting the nutrition and sort of the vital life force of the seed and the nut out and ready for your body to use. So we're just going to slap everything into the blender, and it's all equal amounts of the sunflower, cashews, and almonds. And I think I'm using about 3/4 of a cup of everything here. And I don't need quite all this almond meal, so I'll just take some of it. Couldn't be easier, right? Okay. And then this is lemon juice. It's about 2 tablespoons, and that just sort of like opens up the flavors, gives you that nice little depth. And then Bragg's amino acids. This is something that you can be found almost in every single grocery store. Once again, this is cooking, not baking, so we do it with our own flavors and our own taste in mind. We don't have to be really specific about it. So we're going to do about a tablespoon of the Bragg's. And then I use Celtic sea salt. I happen to find that it just gives this incredible depth of flavor. It just really makes everything just sort of like expand in your mouth. I highly suggest using some sort of like sea salt or Himalayan salt, a good quality salt, because for a lot of things, like salt is the main thing that opens up the gateway of flavor and taste. So a little bit of salt is about ½ teaspoon. And then I'm going to add about 2 cloves of garlic, and you can chop them up or you can put them in whole, or I like to put mine on the grater because it just takes 2 seconds to do. And everything's just going into the blender, and a little bit of water. It'll probably start with maybe like a 1/4 cup of water, just enough to get it all smooth and delicious. Put that lid on. I'm going to get what we call the plunger, which is an incredible tool. It comes with this kind of you can also buy them separately, and it just helps mush things around and get things going. So try that. This is your basic cream sauce that you have. Now with this, you can do a ton of different things. The other day I did an Indian madras dal. So I soaked lentils, which in Indian food was called dal, and then I added some turmeric, some curry powder, some ginger, and a little bit of agave, and blended it up, and it made the most incredible, rich Indian food. It was awesome. But today we're going to do this risotto. So what I've done is I have sprouted wheat berries, and these are soft winter wheat berries that have been soaked overnight, and so they start having a little sprout coming out of their little tails there. And so it's been softened up just by soaking in the water. You don't need to cook it. We're just going to add that to the bowl. So we're going to actually soup up our cream sauce, even though this is amazing right now. And a lot of the time how I do risotto is just a little bit of mushrooms that have been mixed in the Bragg's and dehydrated a little bit, and some thyme, and that makes this mushroom risotto. But we're going to do one of my favorite things, which is pesto with little sun-dried tomato. You just put those in there, and some basil. I'm just going to add probably a little extra salt, just to open up those flavors a little bit more. I'm going to put that on the blender again. Now it's kind of yummy and green. And we're just going to pour that. Look at that. It's turned a little green. It's got little chunks of the red tomato and the basil in there. It's actually great if you leave a little leftover tomato and have nice little meaty tomato bites. So this makes tons of cream sauce. I would actually do like a batch of sauce of the plain basic sauce, separate it out, and then use maybe half of it for your pesto risotto, and then use the other half for your Madras sauce or for a spread. And look at that, it looks like risotto. It's got little chunks of what we know are the wheat berries, but looks kind of like the rice grains, and then a creamy, delicious sauce on the outside. Now the important thing, we're going to taste it and see how it is. Oh my God. It has the most amazing mouthfeel. It's just really creamy and delicious, and there's so many different flavors going on. There's the basil, there's the cream flavor from the nuts, and then at the very end you get this sort of like bright little sun-dried tomato. And then you have a nice chew with the berries. So that's your basic cream sauce and an amazing raw vegan risotto. Remember, I'm Kristan Andrews. You can check out my website, KristanAndrews.com, or my company, Mana Food and Beverage, where we learn how to do easy and delicious, simple raw vegan food. Thanks!